Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. With Gujarat polls inching closer, it seems that Kejriwal Company have left the elections Bhagwan bharose. Why am I saying this? Because the Aam Aadmi Party boss has put forward his suggestion to the government asking images of Lord Ganesh and Goddess Lakshmi should be put on Indian currency notes. His reasoning is that with images of Hindu deities on the banknotes, the entire country will be blessed and also help the falling rupee and economic growth. But what has prompted Kejriwal to take the Hindutva road? Well, let's decode some of the recent controversies. The Aam Aadmi Party has faced massive criticism after one of its Delhi ministers attended a religious conversion event and repeated anti-Hindu oath. Days later, in what can be seen as damage control, Kejriwal went on to claim that he's a big Hanuman Bhakt and Krishna Bhakt. The row spread to Gujarat with posters where it said anti-Hindu slogans were chanted by Rajendra Pal Gautam, along with Kejriwal's picture in a skull cap surfaced in Gujarat. This time, Kejriwal flaunted his Krishna connection, claiming that he was born on Janmashtami and that Krishnji has sent him, for the end of Kans. Another headache for Aam Aadmi Party came in the form of an old video of Gopal Italia, the AAP's Gujarat chief, going viral. And in that video, he was heard asking women not to go to temples as these are dens of exploitation. This time, Kejriwal has demanded now Hindu deities be printed on currency notes. Let's listen in to Arvind Kejriwal.
हमें अपनी अर्थव्यवस्था को सुधारने के लिए, भारत को आगे तरक्की देने के लिए बहुत सारे एफर्ट्स की ज़रूरत है, लेकिन उसके साथ साथ देवी देवताओं के आशीर्वाद की भी ज़रूरत है। अगर भारतीय करेंसी के ऊपर एक तरफ गांधी जी की तस्वीर है वो एज इट इज रहे, दूसरी तरफ अगर लक्ष्मी जी की और गणेश जी की तस्वीर होगी तो इससे पूरे देश को उनका आशीर्वाद मिलेगा। लक्ष्मी जी को समृद्धि की देवी माना गया है, गणेश जी जितने विघ्न होते हैं उनको हरने वाला, उनको देवता माना गया है, विघ्न दूर करने वाला देवता माना गया है, तो उन दोनों की तस्वीरें उसके ऊपर लगनी चाहिए।
Well, gunning for the Aam Aadmi Party, the rivals have come out and called him a Chunavi Hindu, and he's back in action like in every election season. Listen in to the critics of Arvind Kejriwal.
सनातन के प्रति, हिंदू देवी देवताओं के प्रति उसको छुपाने की असफल कोशिश कर रहे हैं। चूंकि इनके पार्टी के लोग, इनके गुजरात के अध्यक्ष, इनके कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर हिंदू देवी देवताओं को इतनी गालियां दे चुके हैं और अभी भी पार्टी में बने हुए।
2 दिन पहले प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करके कह रहे थे कि अगर गलती से आपने दिवाली मना लिया तो आपको जेल में डाला जाएगा। आज वो अचानक लक्ष्मी जी और गणेश जी के विषय में बोलते हुए पाए जा रहे हैं। दिवाली लक्ष्मी जी और गणेश जी का पर्व है और दिवाली मनाने पर जेल में डालने की धमकी देने वाला व्यक्ति आज किस प्रकार का यू टर्न ले रहे हैं, आज किस प्रकार का ढोंग कर रहे हैं, यह भी हम देख रहे हैं।
Kejriwal ji can say anything when elections come. He is known for only making statements. Now today, when elections are around, he is talking about Lakshmi Ganesh on the currency.
Well, the opposition and the Aam Aadmi Party know very well that considering Hindu votes, consolidating Hindu votes is critical if they want to put up a strong fight against the BJP, because in Gujarat, 89% of the population is Hindus. Rahul Gandhi visited the Golden Temple and mandirs ahead of the Punjab polls, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh polls in the past. Kejriwal too has gone for darshan in Somnath Temple ahead of the Gujarat battle to underline the Hindu credentials. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings me to the legitimate question on the news hour. Banking on Bhagwan for votes on notes? That's the question we are asking. Kejriwal note for vote, that's the hashtag and the debate on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
And joining me tonight, Shehzad Poonawala, national spokesperson of the BJP, Ratan Sharda, author Ishkaran Bhandari, advocate in the Supreme Court, Dr. Suman C. Raman, political analyst, Zaman Chaudhary, leader of the Congress party. But my first question goes to Mr. Ravi Srivastava, political analyst. He supports the Aam Aadmi party. And Ravi Srivastava, I want to ask you, बड़ी याद आ गई गणेश लक्ष्मी की आज. ये जब चुनाव आते हैं तो इतनी श्रद्धा, इतनी भक्ति कहां से आती है? क्योंकि पहले तो statements have been made by Mr. Kejriwal saying that he will never go to a temple where a masjid has been raised and a temple has been made. Mr. Manish Sisodia also said Ram Mandir ki jagah to aap Vishwavidyalaya bana dijiye. And then Gopal Italia, who said temples are dens of exploitation of women. Today, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal has turned all Hindu. What is really upsetting and bringing this change in Mr. Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi party?
There is no change in Kejriwal's ideology or philosophy or style of functioning. But I have a question here. Could you ever dare to ask this question to the Prime Minister of this country, who is running around Kedarnath, Badrinath, Yamunotri, Gangotri, who is running around Mahakal temple, who is running around Ayodhya, because he knows that he has lost the ground in Gujarat and there is no way he can win back. So he is doing everything over there. He is running around there just for keeping a shelter. And as far as Arvind Kejriwal's statement is concerned, he is very right, because country's economy is only Bhagwan Bharose. Everything is out of hand. Only God can help at this stage, whether it is a repo rate, whether it is inflation, whether it is a rupee at 83 rupees a dollar, whether it is a GDP growth. You name the thing, there is nothing in control. Even a government minting money by squeezing the common man by taxes of GST on the milk and curd and paneer and all those consumable items. This is the situation. 2014, we used to buy a cylinder for 464 rupees. Today we are buying for 1053 rupees. That sarso ka tel was 40 rupees a liter. Now we are buying 200 rupees a liter. So this is the situation. A common man is completely squeezed. Let us call the God at least. My God, please come and help this economy, because Mr. Modi cannot do anything. Now, Nirmala Sitaraman says, Rupiah is not going down, the dollar is coming up. So those kind of foolish arguments, foolish explanations, those are of no use.
So
it is better that we recall God.
So you don't have faith in their arguments and responses. You have faith only in Ganesh and Lakshmi. And you're saying whether I care to ask these questions. Well, I can only tell you that Narendra Modi ji और the BJP वो तो राम का नाम ले रहे हैं 1990 से. आप नए आए हैं इस दौर में, इस मौसम में, इसलिए आपसे सवाल पूछा था. पर anyway, you can say anything you want to me, but Shehzad Poonawala, respond to the questions raised by Ravi Srivastava ji, who says everything in this country is Ram Bharose, or rather Bhagwan Bharose.
First of all, Navika ji, nobody runs around Kedarnath, nobody runs around Ayodhya, nobody runs around Badrinath. These are the most holiest sites of the Hindu Astha, and we go for pilgrimage there. So nobody would ever say that you run to Vatican or you run around Kaabatullah in Mecca, Medina, and nobody should say it. But this liberty to abuse and accuse and insult Hindus is a one-way street. और इसलिए मैं कहता हूँ, हिंदुओं का करो अपमान, चलानी है वोट बैंक की दुकान, इसलिए बनना है तुष्टीकरण का भाईजान. और अब देखो धर्मांतरण करके कर रहे हैं हिंदुओं का सम्मान. मतलब जो कल तक हिंदुओं के प्रतिबंध लगा रहे थे पर कह रहे थे डोंट बर्स्ट क्रैकर्स लाइक औरंगजेब सेड, टुडे दे हैव डन सच अ यू टर्न. व्हाई हैव दे डन दिस यू टर्न? लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड दिस. द यू टर्न हैज बीन डन बिकॉज इन गुजरात ऑल्सो दे हैव रियलाइज्ड दैट नोबडी इज गिविंग देम अ सिंगल वोट. 0 सीट्स आ रही है. तो नाउ द बिग सिस्टर एंड द स्मॉल सिस्टर, द छोटे मियां एंड द बड़े मियां ऑफ तुष्टीकरण, बोथ आर डूइंग सच अ यू टर्न. टुडे यू हैव सीन सेकुलर छलावा से कलावा पे आ गए हैं कुछ लोग. क्रॉस से कलावा, रोम मानसिकता से राम मानसिकता, जो अरे सुन लीजिए ना सर, प्लीज डोंट इंटरप्ट, लेट मी प्लीज डोंट इंटरप्ट, व्हाई डू वी हैव टू गो
रवि श्रीवास्तव जी, nobody interrupted you, please do not interrupt.
आप हिंदुओं की बात करेंगे,
please do not interrupt.
ठेका दिया है कि आप हिंदुओं की बात करेंगे,
please don't interrupt Ravi Srivastava ji. You've had your say. I opened the debate with you. You've had your opening comments. You can't interrupt everybody in the first time they open the mouth. Just hold on.
No, I want to respond, please.
Okay.
I want to respond.
All right. I'll come to you when your turn comes. I will come to you. I promise you that. Shahzad, complete your point.
जो राम जी के अस्तित्व को नकारते थे, आज वो राम राम कर रहे हैं। जो लोग कहते थे मंदिर और कथा शोषण का अड्डा है, वो आज कह रहे हैं कि लक्ष्मी जी की और गणेश जी की तस्वीर होनी चाहिए रुपए पे, पैसों पे। बहुत अच्छी बात है। तो पहले बताइए कि इस नीति के पीछे नियत साफ है तो गोपाल इटालिया जिसने मंदिर और कथा को गाली दी, उनको कब निकाल रहे हो? जो कश्मीरी हिंदुओं के नरसंहार पर ठहाके लगाकर ब्लू शर्ट पहन के हंस रहे थे, उनको कब पार्टी से निकाल रहे हो? जो राम मंदिर के विरोध में उतर आए थे और कह रहे थे कि नानी ने कहा है मंदिर में नहीं जाना है, राम जी वहां नहीं बसते क्योंकि मस्जिद तोड़कर मंदिर बनाई है, उनको कब निकाल रहे हो? जो स्वस्तिक के चिन्ह का अपमान कर रहे थे, उनको कब निकाल रहे हो? और ये भी बता दीजिए कि चलिए आप ये लक्ष्मी जी और गणेश जी की तस्वीर लगाना चाहते हैं, मैं आपका समर्थन कर रहा हूं। 3 चीजों का सिर्फ जवाब दे दीजिए। 3 things tell me. 1, that no शराब घोटालेबाज और हवाला घोटालेबाज will have access to a note having Lakshmi ji's picture on it. 2, that no Kasai with his hands dipping in blood of the cow or of any other animal will have their hands on this note. And 3, no terrorist or Atankwadi or rioter like Tahir Hussain, who was defended by Amanatullah Khan, will ever get access to this note. And that this note, which will have the Devi Devta's pictures, will always be kept safely. You give me the guarantee of this and you take our support also on this. अन्यथा ये बताइए कि हिंदुओं का अभी तक कर रहे थे अपमान और अब आप बेवकूफ बनाने के लिए दे रहे हैं ये फर्जी सम्मान। नहीं चाहिए आपका फर्जी सम्मान।
Ravi Srivastava, respond. Can there be guarantees?
First of all, you are talking about the animal blood. You have got the maximum abattoirs and export of the beef and the mutton is done by the
नोट पे मां लक्ष्मी की तस्वीर नहीं है ना। रवि श्रीवास्तव आउट ऑफ सिलेबस क्वेश्चन पूछा है क्या मैंने आपसे?
I want to ask
No, you can't ask a question on a question.
I want to ask a hypothetical question.
You are not hypothetical.
Let me get in Kamru Zaman Choudhury. Kamru Zaman Choudhury of the Congress Party. I want to ask you.
A master stroke and a krantikari idea. Because it is suggestion has come from Arvind Kejriwal.
बड़ा क्रांतिकारी है, बड़ा क्रांतिकारी है, बड़ा क्रांतिकारी आइडिया है. I agree with you. Let me get in Kamru Zaman Choudhury, lowering your fader, Ravi Srivastava. Kamru Zaman Choudhury, क्रांतिकारी idea. Is this something that is acceptable to the Congress Party?
No, listen one thing, as my dear brother Shahzad Bhai was speaking, was that Kejriwal has done a U-turn on this Hindutva, or what you call this soft Hindutva politics. But then you actually you must understand that the real face of Kejriwal and his company is getting exposed. Now by this move, what he has gained to achieve is that it's just simple plain competitive Hindutva for the title of Hindu Hriday Samrat. That's what I can say about it. You know why I say this? You see the chronology that Kejriwal over the last few years in Delhi, he was absent missing during the Delhi riots, he was absent during the COVID, you know what he did to all those Tablighi Jamaat people, they were there. He is the person from whose party Atishi belongs, and she is the person who labelled rather the Bengali Muslims from Bengal as Rohingyas living in Delhi. This is the bigotry that the Aam Aadmi Party is getting exposed on a day-to-day basis. Now you see the Bharat Jodo Yatra has got such a ripple effect on their senses that Aam Aadmi Party has come to such a low that they are now into competitive Hindu politics. Hindutva politics. You know, one last thing I will say before I finish. You know, by this Arvind Kejriwal, by his comments today, what I can say is that he is leaning more to the right. Now the BJP is looking as if BJP is becoming a centrist party. That is the joke of the day.
BJP is becoming a centrist party. At least you believe that. At least you believe that, Kamaru Choudhury, that BJP is becoming a centrist party.
I don't believe. That's a joke. Ma'am, that's a joke, Navika. Navika, that's a joke.
Just like you
actually
cracked another joke that everybody is getting scared of the Bharat Jodo Yatra.
इसमें मैं बस 10 सेकंड बोलना चाहता हूं। देखिए, अब ये इनको ऐसे दर्द हो रहा है, दुख हो रहा है, जैसे कि 2013 में इन्होंने अडॉप्ट किया था और वो बच्चा जो है अस्ट्रे हो गया। पर बताइए मुझे कि जो राम जी के अस्तित्व का सर्टिफिकेट मांगते थे, वो भी तो आज कलावा पहनकर बोल रहे हैं कि मैं मंदिर मंदिर जाता हूं, मैं ही सच्चा हिंदू। पर इन्होंने बिगेटरी की बात की। सर, इज इट बिगेटरी टू से हिंदू टेरर? इज इट बिगेटरी say saffron terror? Is it bigotry to say that Gita is equivalent to jihad? Is it bigotry to say that Sanatan Dharma फैल जाएगा if Modi ji wins? Mr. Khadge has said it. अब आप ये बताइए कि do you consider this as bigotry or not as bigotry? And secondly, भारत जोड़ो यात्रा, जॉर्ज पोनैया। नो मिस्टर जमान, आपको कहां से बीमारी लग गई? अरे बात तो पूरी हो जाने दीजिए। कमरू जमान चौधरी, बात हो जाने दीजिए, उसके बाद बोलिए। एक लास्ट पॉइंट है, उसके बाद बोलिए ना। लास्ट पॉइंट हो जाने दीजिए, उसके बाद बोलिए।
अभी तो ना तो शाहीन बाग है, बीच में ना ईवीएम का बक्सा है कि आपको यहाँ पे करंट लग जाएगा।
क्या है
जाकर शाहीन बाग में आपको ये बताइए, सिंपल एज दैट, हिंदू खतरे में है, ये कॉइनेज किसने दिया? ये तो आपके दोस्त बीजेपी आरएसएस के लोगों ने दिया, कांग्रेस पार्टी ने कभी नहीं भारतवासियों को इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी दीजिए।
Mr. Choudhury is asking you a question. Let him ask you a question and then you respond.
If according to Kamaru Choudhury कि हमने उनको पोसा बड़ा किया, तो पहले अवसर पर आपने क्यों निकाह फरमाया 2013 में उनके साथ? अब बताइए ना इस बात को। दूसरी बात, अब दूसरी बात पूरी हो जाने दीजिए। भारत जोड़ो की बात करें, जॉर्ज पोनैया हु सेड मैं भारत माता पर चप्पल पहन के चलता हूं ताकि उसकी बीमारी मुझे ना लगे। यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट बिगेटरी। अरे भाई, 100 चूहे खाकर कांग्रेस हज को चली, जिसने 10 बड़े दंगे दिए और 1984 का दंगा दिया जिसमें सिखों का नरसंहार हुआ और कहा कि बड़ा पेड़ गिरता है तो धरती हिलती है। वो कह रही है बिगेटरी के बारे में। और आखिरी सवाल मेरा सिर्फ इतना है, देखिए मुझे एक ही सवाल का जवाब दीजिए कि आज आपको इस पूरी चीज पर बड़ी आपत्ति हो रही है। मुझे सिर्फ इतना बता दीजिए कि राम मंदिर का विरोध करने वाले केजरीवाल जी के ऊपर क्या कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए? अगर वो सच्चे हिंदू है तो राम मंदिर का जिसने विरोध किया, केजरीवाल जी को उस पर बताना चाहिए कि वो स्टैंड गलत था या सही था।
कमरू चौधरी, बिफोर आई गेट इन रतन शारदा जी।
Shahzad bhai, one thing is for sure, keep Congress out of your competitive Hindutva politics at least. Now it is between you, BJP and Aam Aadmi Party, who wants the title of the Hriday, what you call this, Hindu Hriday Samrat. Who wants the title? We don't want that. We want India.
But it is 89%. It is 89% of the population in Gujarat, Ratan Sharda. But Congress doesn't want to. Congress doesn't want to even attract the Hindu vote, and they have given up. They have said 89% of the population may be Hindu. हमें वहाँ जाना ही नहीं है।
I never said that.
हम 9% से खुश हैं। But who is the real Hindu Hriday Samrat? That is the competition that the Congress feels is currently on between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party.
All people with equal opportunity.
Okay, all right. Ratan Sharda ji.
Before I start, I want to show this particular graphic because it is very easy to say that, this particular image of
Jhadu on the swastik. Yes.
This is so horrendous. It has been removed by Kejriwal. That is important. 2019, 3 years down the line, if the tweet is still there live on his Twitter, and today it says the भगवानों को छाप दो नोट के ऊपर। स्वस्तिक सबसे बड़ा शुभ लाभ का साइन है, उसको आपने झाड़ू से पीटा, ना उसमें बीजेपी है ना उसमें आरएसएस है। ऐसा आदमी जब बोलता है कि भगवान को रखो तो उसको क्या जवाब देंगे? और वो जिंदा है ट्वीट आज भी। नाउ कमिंग टू द मेन पॉइंट, आई एम वेरी सॉरी दैट Mr. Kamaru Zaman, that in Gujarat, Congress was second most powerful party, 77 seats was in 99. Why are they abdicating Gujarat? I do not know. Now coming to the Kejriwal factor, Mr. Kejriwal, we have seen what kind of anti-Hindu statement he makes. First of all, they say कि महात्मा गांधी को छापा है, अर्थनीति की बड़ी खराब हालत है आर्थिक नीति की, तो हमको उसके ऊपर भगवान भी चाहिए, which means that Mahatma Gandhi has actually put economy in bad shape. That is the argument. Secondly, the contempt they have is Mr. Srivastava says कि सारा कुछ तो भगवान के भरोसे है, तो भगवान को ही छाप दो ना। So भगवान को छापना is not out of श्रद्धा, भगवान को छापना is out of contempt. That your economy is भगवान भरोसे So put Bhagwan on the notes. Basically, he has utter contempt for Hindu gods, Hindu belief system. Because when you say Bhagwan bharose kar diya, note pe Bhagwan chapta, how do you put the two together? Now finally, Arvind Kejriwal tried every trick. Freebies he took to Gujarat, nobody listened to him. People laughed at him. They said, 500 rupees ka to hum papda kha jate subah. Then they had their president in Gujarat making all kind of abusive statement, and everybody now supporting him. That the message may be old, but its support is new. So they supported that also. Then they tried every kind of idea there. Nothing worked. They tried to allure people. They made all kind of statements. Garba bhi kar liya, dance kar liya, mandir chale gaye. Nothing worked. Freebies didn't work. So bolte chalo Bhagwan bharose. So now they want Lakshmi and Ganpati on the notes. I am fine with any suggestion. But do you remember that Gandhi was not there till 1996 on the notes? Who brought them? Secular Congress in 1996. So now whether Gandhiji was suitable or
1989.
not, that's a separate issue. Well, I have found it 1989. Okay, fine. So what has changed after that? And if aap speaks that Bhagwan bharose karke economy tar jayegi, to policy mat banaya. Because Kejriwal has been putting freebies across the line.
Ratan ji, ye bataiye, do you agree Mahatma Gandhi as the father of the nation, yes or no?
What they want is now इनका पंजाब
पूरा बैकअप बता दीजिए. I know you are from the RSS. Just tell me one thing. Do you accept Mahatma Gandhi as the father of the nation?
But that's not even the question. That's not even the question. He is very happy with Mahatma Gandhi on the note. So why are you questioning on that?
The question 1989 Mahatma Gandhi is for.
No, but why don't you answer, Kamaru Choudhury? The question he asked is, why don't you answer, is Mahatma Gandhi on the notes causing all the distress that Mr. Ravi Srivastava is talking about?
Their minister said it just today in the press conference. I heard it. He said,
I don't want to speak about these people from the Aam Aadmi Party. They are a simply opportunistic party, but my debate is with Ratan Sharda and his ideologues out there. The question that I wanted to ask, okay, we did a mistake by putting the father of the nation on the currency note. Now Kejriwal wants to put in goddesses and gods on the currency note. Now, in the first place, we have got a Mahatma Gandhi out there. Do you object to his photo on the currency notes? Yes or no, sir?
Did I? I did not.
He did not.
नहीं, ये महात्मा गांधी के बारे में बार बार विषय उठाते हैं. एक बात बोलूं आपको कमरू चौधरी, महात्मा गांधी जी की समाधि पर हे राम लिखा है. अगर हम आज हे राम बोलते तो सांप्रदायिक कौन घोषित करता है हमें? महात्मा गांधी जी ने राम राज्य की परिकल्पना की थी. राम राज्य की बात कर लो तो सांप्रदायिक घोषित हो जाते. गौ रक्षा की बात महात्मा गांधी ने की थी, उसकी बात करो तो कहते हैं सांप्रदायिक है. अब बताइए महात्मा गांधी के उसूलों का काम कौन करता है और कौन है? एक सेकंड बीच में बोलने की आपकी क्या विशेषता और बीमारी है भाई?
Your BJP people do not accept Mahatma Gandhi as the father of the nation.
Complete my statement. Your
RSS supporters, your bigoted people from the RSS, they try to shoot Mahatma Gandhi.
10 seconds every time they oppose me. At least have 30 seconds patience. At least give me one opportunity in the entire show to speak. Now my last question is, what was Mahatma Gandhi's final wish? कि कांग्रेस नामक दुकान बंद करवा दीजिए. अरे आप महात्मा गांधी का नाम तो रख लिए, उनके उसूलों की रोज 3 गोलियां दाग के हत्या करते हैं और दूसरों को पूछते हैं महात्मा गांधी के बारे में. हम तो महात्मा गांधी के पदचिन्हों पर चलते हैं. आप बताइए कि गांधी को केवल नाम के अलावा आपने कहां रखा है? और कृपया बीच में मत बोलिए, इट्स बैड मैनर्स. कम से कम दूसरे की बात
हमने कहीं नहीं रखा. नहीं, सुनिए Shehzad bhai, whatever you are speaking is totally out of context out here.
Out of syllabus.
Because the basic point that your RSS people who are supporting BJP out here, they do not want, there is a big debate that Mahatma Gandhi is not the father of the nation. There are even symbolic protests where Mahatma Gandhi was shot also by your people.
You asked the question on Mahatma Gandhi, is he the father of the nation? But if he asks any question related to Mahatma Gandhi, you find it out of context. But let me get in Suman Siraman. Suman Siraman, the question here is there some sort of a contest that is going on who is the Hindu Hriday Samrat, and is that the reason why there is suddenly a competition? Because those who have shown a broom to the swastik, which is the Shubh Labh sign which we all put outside our houses when there is a Greh Pravesh or during a Lakshmi Puja, Ganesh Puja. We all know what happened to that swastik as far as the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned, and we've said what he said about the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya. Today, Hindu Hriday Samrat, is that the reason? Because elections are around the corner?
Navika, give me a minute. I've been very patiently listening to everyone.
Yes.
Arvind Kejriwal was for long, at least for the last 4 or 5 years, been seen as Hindutva light versus the BJP's Hindutva. So he has now got himself a little bit of a Hindutva charger, little more powerful charger, and he is now becoming Hindutva pro. So I think what is happening is Kejriwal is taking on the BJP at its own game, and the reason why the BJP is so agitated today, those who are speaking up for the BJP are so agitated, instead of merely saying, yeah, we'll look at it or whatever and just letting it go, the reason they're getting so agitated is their sole preserve of exploiting a Hindu vote bank is now being challenged by this Johnny come lately, who is now trying to say, I am 24 karat Hindu and I am more Hindu than you. So I think that is really what is getting the BJP's goat. I think that they are finding that clearly, look, Mr. Kejriwal is doing it for politics. I don't for a moment believe he is serious about any of these things at all. And he has proven himself to be a glib, talker, somebody who changes positions quite often. But the fact that he is now talking this language, which has won the BJP huge dividends electorally, means that he has decided to take on the BJP at their own game. And at least instead of ignoring this, from their reaction, I saw an Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson or somebody speaking on behalf of the Aam Aadmi Party on another channel asking, why do you people dislike Ganesh ji and Lakshmi ji so much? I mean, it was hilarious. This is the BJP's language. That's the language they use and everybody else.
I'm glad.
And here is somebody asking, why do you dislike Ganesh ji? Why do you dislike Lakshmi
I'm
ji?
glad you think all this is a game. I'm
back.
glad you think all this is a game, because to many, religion and worshipping somebody is not really a game. And I'm glad you are saying that he, all this is
not a game. What Kejriwal is doing is a game.
And you also say it is the trump card which is being put forward to beat the BJP at its own game. Ishkaran Bhandari, where do you stand on this? When gods and goddesses become your symbols for playing games in politics, number one, and number two, when you begin to say, almost as Shehzad said, out of contempt, कि भाई तुमसे तो कुछ हो नहीं रहा, तो out of contempt भगवान को ही मान लो. Now, is that something that really is acceptable to a country which believes that religion is something that they hold so close to their hearts and minds and is the reason for their way of life?
Navika ji, I'm speaking last, so I hope I will not be interrupted. There are two aspects to this, ideological and political / Chunavi Hindu. The ideological aspect, as per me, is very clear that it should not be only the picture of Mahatma Gandhi. If you are going for people who were contributing to the freedom struggle or whatever category you are going for, there are enough notes, and you can have Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, Rani Lakshmibai, etc., you can choose that. Secondly, whether you should have the pictures of Ma or Ganesh ji, there is no problem to that. I think it is a suggestion which can be taken up. The problem comes when it becomes a political fight, and in fact the political fight is basically a BJP fight. But how the politics has changed, and to this you have to understand how the ethos of Bharat have been evoked, where everybody wanted to be secular and run away from everything Hindu. Now everybody is competing to be Hindu. And that change, I think, has been brought into the mainstream by the relentless and constant, and that is something, constant and consistent positioning of BJP or RSS, where people who were afraid to say Hindu were told, garv se kaho hum Hindu hain. And now everybody is wanting to copy that. And personally, I think it's a good thing. Let people try to be Hindutva light or Hindutva pro, as long as the right issues get raised. The unfortunate problem, the only problem is people remember everything. Ratan Sharda ji just showed a tweet which is still live. People understand who is doing what and for what purpose. People understand when you oppose Ram Mandir. Understand when you have people in your party who support people like Tahir Hussain. So everybody understands everything. But if you want to do a competitive Hindutva politics, I think BJP would be very happy, because people in the end go for people who will deliver on what they say, fast or slow, rather than people who one day abuse Hindu gods and one day try to become more Hindu than anybody else in the country. So good for BJP if you want to take that.
So I want to ask you, Suman C. Raman. Suman C. Raman, the question here is, do you think the people of India are silly and stupid? Don't they realize that the BJP has been consistently somebody who has been talking about the Hindu identity of this country, the lost pride of the Hindus, the civilizational values of Hindustan, so to speak, and any, in your words, Johnny come lately can come and, compete with them and take away the position? Can they?
Well, we will have to wait for the verdict of the people, but there's nothing that stops Mr. Kejriwal from trying to do that. Look, let's face it, he's made a mark for himself outside Delhi. He's giving the BJP a run for its money in Gujarat, which is why, we've seen a whole lot of, AAP leaders with charges against them, some of them pushed into jail and so on. So obviously there is an impact that he's making. Whether it is going to be big enough to defeat the BJP, I don't know. Personally, I don't think so. But that's not the point. The point is, he has decided that if this Hindutva plank could give the BJP such good electoral dividends over such a sustained period of time,
okay.
There is
all
no
right, hands going up, Shehzad to you first, then to Ratan Sharda and then to Ishkaran.
Whether there is Hindutva pro and Hindutva light, I don't know, but there is Nakli secularism, and today that Nakli secularism has been dug into the grave deep soundly. Tell me that till yesterday they were saying that Hindutva is the antithesis of secularism. All these poster boys and ecosystem of secularism would come and say that secularism and Hindutva is not compatible. But when, just for political reasons, and admitted by Mr. Suman C. Raman that it is an election gimmick, it is a Chunavi Hindu, like seasonal fruit, it's a seasonal Hindu, he comes and plays a Hindutva card just for election gimmick that is compatible with their version of secularism. So today they're counterfeit secularism. Whether there will be original... Now please, Mr. Raman, at least let me complete, sir. Every time 15 seconds, you let me
Why
complete.
are you getting so agitated, sir?
He's not agitated, he's making his point.
You have to give me 30 seconds to answer. Not every time you can't interrupt me, sir. Every time, every statement. Now, secondly, as far as this is concerned, whether I'm... No, sir, my opening statement was on the Hindi show and on the English show, I welcome this. What better news for me than those who till yesterday were abusing Hindutva are now running in the league to be part of that Hindutva brigade and saying that nahi, rom karte the, galti thi, राम राम ही करना चाहिए. मैं बहुत खुश हूं कि मोदी जी का इतना बड़ा परिवर्तन और असर देखिए कि सियासी धर्मांतरण हो गया. But if you are indeed Hindutva pro, sir, two answers.
So do you accept his proposal?
Two answers. If you are indeed Hindutva pro, one, tell me what action will you take on Gopal Italia, and two, you tell me note पे तो बाद में कर लेना, पहले सरकारी दफ्तर में मुख्यमंत्री के पीछे मां लक्ष्मी की कमल पर विराजमान होते हुए तस्वीर लगा दो, हाथ में कमल के साथ तस्वीर लगा दो. What stops you there? हाँ, उसमें क्या करते हैं कि वक्फ को हम देंगे तन मन धन समर्पित, और कहते हैं कि मैं मौलानाओं की सैलरी बढ़ाऊंगा. जब मौका मिलता है तो बनते तुष्टिकरण के भाईजान, और जब मौका नहीं मिलता है तो हिंदुओं को देते गाली और करते हैं अपमान, और फिर बोलते हैं कि चलाएंगे वोट बैंक की दुकान. अरे भाई साहब, ये छोड़िए फर्जी सम्मान, हम सब समझते हैं.
So I'm asking Ravi Srivastava, should there be action taken against Gopal Italia, the man who says temples are only places for exploitation of women?
He is absolutely right, and we have seen the of Ram Rahims, Nityanand, Chinmayanand and Asaram, all these kind of Babas we have seen. We know very well that what kind of Babas are there. And he has given a correct statement, absolutely. Why the women should get exploited.
Hindu Hriday Samrat. ये है आपके हिंदू हृदय सम्राट. तो लक्ष्मी गणेश are not gods and goddesses for worship. Lakshmi Ganesh are new icons for the Chunavi posters. Well, I want to ask Ratan Sharda. Ravi Srivastava has answered.
When you have friends like Ravi Srivastava for AAP, you don't need enemies. I don't need to speak, just let him speak and he will expose AAP thoroughly as he wants. Listen to him. He never talked about Father Mullakkal or Bishop Mullakkal, never. He didn't talk of the exploitation nuns who wrote novels, never. Because he is basically anti-Hindu, and I'm very thankful to AAP that they send such people, poisonous people, to the debates. Coming to the main point, it has been noted that, अरे यार चुप करो यार, please बात करने दो. Has anybody noted that in today's debate nobody talked about secularism? Mr. Suman, अरे भाई जरा चुप करो यार. Can I go to the next point?
Ravi Srivastava, you made your point. You made your point.
I said, has been noted that in today's debate nobody has raised the issue of Arvind Kejriwal abandoning secularism. Nobody said that secularism is the founding principle, secularism is the fundamental issue. Nobody talked about it. They aren't talking of competitive Hindutva. Now, it is BJP was very happy for Arvind Kejriwal to do his speech of education, of finance, of Vikas and whatnot, freebies, Mufat Kamal, Bijli and all that. I'm coming to BJP Hindutva pitch. Which is he bound to loot. Rajiv Gandhi is such a popular leader. He removed Ram Mandir locks, and that led to the entire chain of events that happened later. But he didn't get a single penny of advantage out of that. So when you try to compete on somebody else's pitch, my dear friend, you are bound to lose.
Absolutely.
And it's not a game.
Absolutely. What happens to secularism, the idea of secularism, because all of the previous 5 decades, all we've heard is anybody who talks about Hindu gods, Ram, they are communal, and only people who talk about other religions are secular. So I want to ask, आज तो राम नाम की लूट मची है, लूट सके तो लूट. सुमन,
अंतकाल पछताएगा जब प्राण जाएंगे छूट.
किसके प्राण?
No. Let me make this one thing very clear. Rajiv Gandhi, yes, the lock on the Ram Mandir. Now, was it done purely with a? Excuse me, I'm not able to speak. Okay, let me make 2 quick points, Navika. One, the sheer fact that this is being taken up for debate itself shows that it has had some impact on the ruling party, which is the BJP. Otherwise, there would be no need to debate this.
How does that get proved?
As a half, as a bit of a joke.
No. If a newspaper tomorrow writes an edit or carries a story, it means it has affected the ruling party. It has affected the ruling party. Ishkaran Bhandari, what is that argument? What is that argument made by Suman Siraman?
Navika ji, that I'll tell you why the argument has come up. Suman, this is a question to me. Let me answer. Let me answer this. Navika ji, because this question, Navika ji, because they started. Suman can speak. It's a question to me. Navika ji, because in his gleefulness, he admitted in the first part of the debate that ye to sirf gimmicks hai. Any Hindu would feel misused, will feel used, will feel you are making a mockery of Hindu gods and goddesses by saying election ke liye hum kar rahe hain. But they were very gleefully saying that. Once they got caught on that in the debate, they obviously have to gun for you that why are you doing this debate, because they cannot walk their own words back, which is full of glee. Second point which I want to make here, which is very important. Navika ji, please understand, under the last Prime Minister, the statements used to be minorities, including Muslims, especially Muslims, have the first right on resources. Saffron terror. From there, the government of Modi Sarkar or BJP has brought the debate to Hindutva. We were playing in the field of secularism like football. If they want to play in the field of Hindutva like cricket, people know the genuine from the Pakhandi, and the result we'll see. He's being smart, he's being over smart. You will see it in the end.
Well, clearly, people of India and people of Gujarat will be the final judge. The question is this really a move that is filled with some sort of reverence to our gods and goddesses, or is this only about a political pitch that is being made? We'll have to wait and watch if the public sees through these moves. Well, we leave it at that. Thank you very much for joining me on debate number 1.